Hi, I'm going to talk to you about 6.1 time differences. Scroll down to the bottom of this page, right click and open in a new link. This Word document will open up in your Google Docs and look something like this. What do you need to do? You need to identify the time differences between Fiji and New Zealand. NZST means New Zealand Standard Time and NZDST means New Zealand Daylight Savings Time. So you need to find out the time differences between the Cook Islands and New Zealand, Tonga and New Zealand, and New Caledonia and New Zealand. So I strongly suggest that you begin by completing this table below, as it will help you to complete the task. I'm going to do an example, and the example will be Solomon Islands. So follow the bullet points below. First, complete column A, current time in the island selected, and column B, current time in New Zealand. So if I right click and open link, it will come up with this website here. And the first thing that I want to do is find out the Solomon Islands. Again, it's in alphabetical order. So if I look at the Solomon Islands, it is Monday 1:10 p.m. So I'm going to type in here, Monday 1:10 p.m. It's really important that you make sure you know whether it's morning or afternoon or what day it is. The next thing is look at the bottom of your computer screen, and it will tell you the time in New Zealand. So the time in New Zealand is 3:11 p.m. It's Monday, so Monday 3:11 p.m. Don't worry so much about the minutes being out, but you do need to look closely at whether it's an hour or two difference, or even look at the half hours. Secondly, check and confirm if New Zealand is in daylight savings time now or not. Alright, so I'm going to right click and open in a new link, and it will tell me New Zealand Daylight Savings Time. And Daylight Savings Time for New Zealand for 2014 to 2015 is Sunday the 28th of September to Sunday the 5th of April. So yes, we are in daylight savings time. The next thing that I need to have a look at is I need to find out if the country, and that means Solomon Islands, participates in daylight savings or not. So I will right click and I will have open the link again, and this will pop up. It's in alphabetical order, so scroll down all the way down to Solomon Islands. And if I look closely, Solomon Islands, all locations, no daylight savings time. So it's really important that I make a note of that. Does the Solomon Island country observe daylight savings time? No, it does not. Okay, so the next thing is calculate the difference between either column D or E depending on the previous answer. So New Zealand is in daylight savings time, therefore I will choose column E. I need to calculate the difference between column A and B. So if I'm looking at this, New Zealand is 3:11, Solomon Islands is 1:10, which means that Solomon Islands is 2 hours behind NZ, and that's why I've put the minus sign in front of the 2. Lastly, I need to calculate the difference between either column D or E depending on the previous answer and insert it into the remaining blank. Alright, so I know New Zealand is in daylight savings time, and at the moment we are 2 hours behind. So how does daylight savings work? Well, in spring the clock goes forward an hour, and in winter the clock goes back an hour. It's December, so we're in summer, so the clock has gone forward 1 hour, which means that if I add an hour to this time here, that would mean that Solomon Islands is behind 1 hour. So it is now 1 hour behind New Zealand. What I need you to do is to complete Fiji, the Cook Islands, New Caledonia and Tonga, and then you need to write a sentence. For example, the Solomon Islands is 2 hours behind New Zealand during New Zealand Daylight Savings Time. Did we get that correct? 2 hours behind New Zealand Daylight Savings Time. Okay, the second part of the sentence, and an hour behind during New Zealand Standard Time. Did we get that right? 1 hour behind New Zealand during New Zealand Standard Time. So, you need to write a sentence like this, and I suggest you use the structure for Fiji, Cook Islands, Tonga and New Caledonia. And once you've done that, submit the work to Google Classroom.